Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. It is a very draining market. I mean, we didn't really see a lot of volatility around the weekly candle close. There was a little bit more with Ethereum. Bitcoin didn't do much. We are still in the same pattern. There is really nothing else I can add to this chart. Still wanted to give you an update and remind you that later today there will be the unscheduled Fed meeting. I don't know if that might lead to some volatility. There might be a leak. There might be some information coming out of there. And that might shake the markets up a little bit. But overall, we are just waiting here for the price to break down. That is still, at the moment, for me, the most likely option. And we can say that we have been moving down in 5 waves here, or we are in this pattern of 5 waves. Wave 1 down, done. Wave 2 up, done. We are still in the 3rd wave. That should take us to around 15.8k. Then there will be a wave 4 up and a wave 5 down. That is for me a very likely option, eventually finishing off the bear market around 14k. That is one very likely option, the way the chart is developing here at the moment, from what we can see now. And another option is this one, very similar count, just counted in slightly a different way. But also here we would expect that we are in a 5-wave move to the downside in a diagonal, but the count again is slightly different. 1 and 2 done. In this count we have done the wave 3 already. We are currently moving up in wave 4 and will come down once more in a wave 5, roundabout into the area of 17k. In both scenarios I would expect lower lows still, and in both scenarios there's a good chance to drop below the June low as well. Important to understand is that there are a few key levels that will probably lead to a breakout. Yeah, I mean, if these levels are broken, then we can see the ball rolling. The first level to the downside, in my opinion, would be here the most recent low at 18,930. More important down there is probably the wave B low, highlighted there in yellow, 18,870, and then the wave 1 low around 18,500. That can then really take us down, first of all, to 17k, and depending on how low we go, we will have a better indication of, are we in this scenario that can take us eventually to 14k, or will we stop at the 17k level? So this is interesting and important. I cannot rule out at this stage that we will go higher, short term at least. We talked about that before. Bitcoin unfortunately doesn't deliver us, doesn't provide us with a reliable pattern really. Yeah, a lot of micro counts got invalidated here recently. At the moment it's holding very well, but only because it's not moving. So we have different options. We need to have an open mind with Bitcoin. I talked to you about already, you know, the low could already be in for Bitcoin. That would be pretty much in line with what we expect for Ethereum. But for that to believe that, I need to see a price move above 22.1k plus an impulsive price action. As long as I don't see that, I have to expect that we are still going to go lower. Yeah, and so far we are steadily going down a little bit lower here on the hourly chart. So it's really just coming down lower, step by step. But it takes a long time. Very draining, very boring. A lot of people fall asleep watching these charts at the moment, and I completely get that. What you need to understand, I gave you the key targets for the downside. To the upside, very relevant, 19,760 level. That can lead to some shorter upside all the way up to 20.4. And if we go above 20.4, then we're also breaking above the 50-day moving average here in yellow, and it can take us all the way up to 22.1k. That would all still be corrective, and I would assume that we're just in an extended wave B before we come down and see and continue that impulse to the downside, or the diagonal pattern to the downside. But if we eventually break above 22.1k, then that will most likely turn into an impulse and to the upside, and we can say that the low is already in. In that scenario, then I would wait for the next dip to buy in more aggressively, because it then has shifted from a larger bearish context in something more bullish. But for now the roadmap is clear. Lower lows expected. Hopefully we'll see some more volatility today, and at the moment there is just purely not much more I can update you about around Bitcoin. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe, and if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.